we're going to look at solving equations with variables on both sides. Tomorrow is going to be the biggest, longest equations that we've seen. Okay, like I showed you at the very beginning. Okay, variables on both sides isn't so bad. I think you'll actually find this fairly simple. Okay, so some problems produce equations that have variables on each side. Solving an equation with variables on both sides is similar to solving an equation with a variable only on one side. What we ultimately need to do is get all the variables on just one side. Okay, so if we look at this first example, there we go. Okay, notice how it's got a variable on both sides, right? If I draw the line here, there's an x on each side of the equation, and we don't really want that, okay? So this whole time that we've done equations, I've talked about it being like a scale, and the two sides are balanced, right? Okay, so in this case right now, on one side of the scale, we have a 4x plus 6, and on the other side of the scale, we have an x. And the scale right now, because they're equal, it's totally balanced. Okay, the problem being we can't have a variable on each side. We want the variables only on one side. And it doesn't matter which side, but we want to get rid of them from one side. Which side do you think we should take the variable away from? Really? This one? Okay, so Brinley says she wants to get rid of the x's on this side. That's okay. As long as whatever we do on one side, we do to the other, right? So that is completely okay. So what she said we're going to do is just take these away. I want to get rid of those 4x's. So ultimately, I want to subtract 4x's from that side. Well, if I do that on the left, I have to do the same on the right. Whoops. I have to subtract 4x's over here also. So I have to put a minus 4x. Everybody agree? Okay, what is x minus 4x? Or this is 1x minus 4x. Exactly. Negative 3x. Everybody agree with that? So instead, on this side, I could just say this is negative 3x. And over here, now all I have is a 6. So I have 6 equals negative 3x. Well, you guys, look at what you have now. This is just a very, very simple problem. Right? It's a simple one-step equation. How do I finish solving this, Tyler? Divide by negative 3. So these cross off. We have x equals 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. Okay? So if we think of it like the scale, where everything just has to keep moving sides to keep it balanced, it's pretty easy. Okay, let's try another one. Look at example 2. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start by drawing the line down the middle. Sometimes it does help me to literally draw this scale and think of it this way. So I have 9b minus 6 on one side and 5b plus 18 on the other. Okay, now ultimately, we need to decide which side should we put the variable on. And it doesn't really matter. Do you want to keep the variables on the left, or do you want to put them on the right? Savannah, what do you do? She wants to put them on the left. Why? Did you have a reason why, or you just? Okay, so some of you like to see the variable on this side, right? And it's easier for you that way. I would have picked this side because 9 is bigger than 5. So when you subtract it off, you end up with a positive number yet. Does that make sense? Okay, so ultimately, you guys, we want to get rid of these 5 b's over here. We can't have a b on both sides. So if I take away 5b from the one side, minus 5b, what do I have to do on the other side? Minus 5b. Right? You have to do the same thing to both sides. So if I take away this over here, now I also have to put minus 5b on this side. What's 9b's minus 5b's? Friendly. 4b. So now this becomes 4b minus 6 equals 18. Does everybody agree with that? Now it's just a two-step equation. Okay, I could put this as 4b minus 6. Well, ultimately, our goal is to get the variable by itself. Isolate the variable. So now we've got the variables on one side. I need to get rid of this minus 6. How do I get rid of the minus 6? Everybody? Plus 6. So put plus 6 on each side. Because I want to get rid of this, so I'd have to put plus 6 over here. And so now we have 4b equals 18 plus 6 is 24. What's my final answer? Friendly. 6, because we're going to divide by 4. So b equals 6. Okay. Is that making sense so far? Okay, flip the page. Let's try another one. Okay, so again, if it helps you, you can do this. Draw this little scale. On one side of the scale, we have 5x plus 8, and on the other side, we have x. Okay, I don't want variables on both sides. Does it matter which side I choose to get rid of the variable? Oh, not really. Would it be okay if I said, I want to get rid of this x? I don't want that x there. Is that okay? So that means I also have to take away an x here, right? If I take away an x from both sides, what do I have left? What's 5x take away an x? Okay, look. 4x. Right, this would be a 4. So 4x plus 8 equals what? What's on the other side? If I took away the x, what's over here? Nothing. So what am I going to put? 0. It equals 0. Okay. We can do that. So now we have 4x plus 8 equals 0. How do I solve this? I need to get the variable and its best friend by itself. So how do I get rid of the plus 8? Minus 8 on each side. So 4x equals negative 8. Last step, divide by 4. X equals negative 2. Are you starting to see how these all become the same? Like every problem is essentially the same, just different numbers. Okay, let's try one last one. Draw the line. Okay, if it helps you, go ahead and draw this. Does this help some of you see it when you draw it like this? Okay, so we have 3b minus 2 on one side and 2b plus 12 on the other side. Which side do you want to get rid of? You want to get rid of the 3b or the 2b? 2b. Okay, so we're going to cross off the 2b. I want to get rid of that. That means I have to put minus 2b on each side. If I have 3 b's and I take away 2 b's, what do I have left? This would become a 1b. So now if I write down what's on that scale, I have 1b minus 2 equals 12. Okay. Now I want to get rid of this minus 2. To get rid of a minus 2, I have to plus 2. So I'm going to put plus 2 on each side. If I put plus 2 over here, we end up with 1b equals 14. Finally, the answer is 14, right? Divide by 1 doesn't change it. B equals 14. Questions there? Any questions on that?